What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. Today I want to talk about how you can supercharge your dating life by using my Irresistible Beast system. All right? I've simplified this whole process of becoming attractive to women and handling your dating life. I've simplified it into two steps that you can take, which is what the Irresistible Beast system revolves around. The first step is setting this intention and making this decision to become a sexy archetype. Okay, so basically a sexy version of yourself. Okay, so right now, if you're not getting women left and right, or your dating life is not where it wants to be, what I'm telling you is there's a sexier version of yourself that you can create and design and step into that will allow you to become more attractive and allow you to start creating the dating life you want to have. So that would be the first step. And then the second step would be to become grounded in this new sexy version of yourself. So it's one thing to start, creating this sexy archetype, this, basically like changing your style, switching up your beingness, the way how you communicate, your vibe. Like basically, it's not like you're changing who you are, but you're going into this sexier version of yourself, this more amplified version of yourself, where you're looking at your best traits. You're looking at, your characteristics, your personality, your values, things like that, and you just amplify these things and make them sexy, make them seductive, So for example, like, this is exactly what I did. Okay, like I basically looked at myself and I said, how can I design myself into the sexiest version of myself? And there's different routes you can go, but what I did was I looked at men and characters that are, in my opinion, that are really cool. Okay, that look cool, that act cool, that are attractive. And I looked at those qualities that they have, and I took those qualities and I started to embody these qualities, like take on these qualities, make them a part of my character, a part of my design. So for example, like one of the characters that I looked at, and you probably, you wouldn't think of this character, well, some people would, but most people wouldn't think of this character as necessarily sexy. But, you become sexy by having like a combination of characteristics that are attractive, and then amplifying some of these characteristics where they're so attractive that your weaknesses are hidden or they can't be seen. You know what I mean? Because you have certain qualities that are so attractive that they outshine whatever weaknesses or like characteristics you may be lacking in, right? So the Joker has this characteristic of being humorous and playful with life and not taking things so seriously. That was a trait that I didn't always have. Okay, I actually used to be super serious all the time, and there's nothing wrong with being serious, but there's a time and place. Like, you don't need to be serious all the time. And so I had to work on taking on this new quality of being more humorous, being more playful, being more lighthearted, but still having that seriousness when necessary. Okay, and that obviously would make me more attractive. That would make me sexier, right? Because now I'm not just this one-dimensional serious dude. I have this other layer. I have this other part to me, right? So that was one characteristic I looked at, in the Joker. Just that beingness of being carefree, being able to laugh at shit, not take shit so seriously. Another character I looked at was Batman. Okay, so I like the Joker, but I also like Batman. I looked at Batman as basically, he has this, there's this, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like there's this aesthetic, like he carries himself, like a warrior, like someone of value, someone that you need to respect. Right, that's a quality I worked on. It's like, You don't want to be walking around with your head down like weak, and you know what I mean. Like for example, the Joker, I wouldn't necessarily get that quality from the Joker. Cause the Joker kind of goofy, he's like, hey, what's up, guys, or whatever. I wasn't necessarily looking for that part. I just like the mentality the Joker has, like the humorous mentality, there's nothing you can do to hurt me, I'll just laugh in your face, that kind of thing. I like that, but I didn't like the goofy, like, walk around shit. So Batman, however, he's poised. He walks around with respect, you know what I mean? He shows up and, he means business. And so I took that quality from Batman. Okay, now these are qualities, we haven't even gotten into style. Okay, now when it comes to style, I just get inspired by anyone who dresses nicely, right? So for example, style is interesting. It's just a combination of anyone who I think, looks cool. Like I looked at, these are some random people you wouldn't even think I would look at, but I looked at them. I looked at Johnny Depp. I like Johnny Depp's style. I like, I used to have these guys, I used to follow these guys on Instagram and watch them. I can't even remember them because it's so long ago. I don't figured out my own style now, but I used to watch these guys. I got some style from Dan Pena. Dan Pena, the businessman. Like I like the dapper, like, just look sharp kind of thing. So even though I'm not wearing a suit or anything, you see, I still have found a way to create a form of sharpness, right? It's like a, even though I'm like, okay, I have a tank top on and a beanie or whatever, but there's still like an aesthetic there. Okay, so, I look at these different guys. I'm trying to think who are some other people I used to look at. I used to look at Diddy. I used to look at Diddy. So P. Diddy, I like his style, like when he dresses up. 50 Cent has an interesting style too. For example, now let's look at like character, like fictional characters. I looked at the Joker, the Suicide Squad Joker. I like his style. I took from that. Okay. Even when I'm walking around in my day, if I see someone and I like their style, I get inspired by that. And I'm inspired by anything. Like I'll look at a vampire and I'll be like, yo, how can I create my own version of that in real life? Like that movie, what was that movie? The vampire movie, Dracula Untold. Like his aesthetic, I like that. How can I create my own version of that? So I look at these different people, these different characters, and I just get inspired. I don't try to be exactly like them. Okay, I just take these characteristics and I apply it to who my beingness. And then I just start taking these qualities, right? And I start working on them. And then how you become grounded in this new beingness, this new sexy version of yourself, once you take on these characters, obviously is, you have lived your life up until this point a certain type of way. Now you're stepping into this new sexier version of yourself. It's going to be a little awkward going through the process. So you need to test your character out. I test my character out doing cold approach. I go out and approach women. I see how they respond to me. Are they responding to me in a way where they're like, oh, this guy's hot? If they're not responding to me like that, then I have more work to do. You see, like I work on myself and then I put it out there to get judged, right? This is what being a man is. You can't be a pussy and expect to evolve into a sexy version of yourself. You have to put your character out there and be tested and challenged to strengthen your character and become grounded in it, right? So this way of being that I am right now, I'm able to be this way because I've been this way for enough time and I've put myself out there to be judged, to be challenged, to be whatever, and I've become grounded in this beingness, so now I can just relax and I don't have to, like try to be it or whatever. I am it. But in the beginning, when you're going into this new sexy version of yourself, it's gonna take effort. Okay, so it's not gonna be fully grounded and fully developed right away, but over time, if you apply the right steps, you keep working on your character, you go and take action, you go and be this character, like you hold your character. You can't be breaking character, right? You can't just be this person like maybe in one situation and the next situation you're somebody else. No, you stay this character, because if this is the version of yourself you want to be, if you want to be a sexy version of yourself, you got to be a sexy version of yourself. Like a lion is a lion all the time. A wolf is a wolf all the time. A hawk is a hawk all the time. An eagle is an eagle all the time. They don't, oh, right now I'm going to be a lion, and later I'm going to be a cat, and then later I'm going to be a dog, and then later I'm going to be a fish. Right? Now, I'm not saying you can't like shift into different characters later, because that's what I do. I shift into different characters. Okay? But you learn how to blend them so you don't look goofy, like you don't look ridiculous, like Two-Face, Three-Face. You know, you don't want to look like that, but you want to be able to show different layers or different dynamics of your personality, of your character. But first, you need to have a foundation or build like a main character or main beingness, and then you add layers to that. Okay? So literally what I did is I just started looking at different people I thought were cool. Okay, now it's coming to mind. I used to look at like stylish basketball players too. You know, I used to look at Russell Westbrook, or I look at Allen Iverson. I look at certain people and I'll just take these different things and I'll create my own version of it. You know? But this is like so many years ago, so it's hard for me to remember exactly who. But the point is, like, I had to do my research, you know, and I still do this stuff right now. Like right now, what character I'm looking at right now is The Witcher. Like, how can I take some qualities of The Witcher? Because The Witcher, to me, like, I'm not gay or anything, but I can say, yo, The Witcher is that's a sexy archetype, man. Like like he slays like demons and, you know, monsters and shit like that. But like he has a certain beingness. Like he steps up and he's, you know, he's grounded in his masculinity. He has a certain type of style. You know what I mean? He carries himself a certain way. He gets women. Like, I could learn from that archetype. It's a fictional character, but I can learn. I can take certain qualities from that and put it in my character. You know, so, but I'm open to doing this. It's like I'm not stuck in my ego like, oh, I don't want to be like no other man. I'm not trying to be like the man. I just see certain qualities in him that I admire, that I respect. And so I'm going to take those qualities and you know, embody them within my character, within my beingness. Right? I mean, because that's what we do. Like, that's how we learn. That's how we become better. Like, as when we're growing up as kids, what we do? We looked at the people around us, our parents, family members, whatever, who was around us, and we looked at what we liked, and we started trying to be like that. And then that's what helped us develop into the person that we are. And so we used our imagination, because we obviously weren't it right away. Like when I was a kid, I'd watch Power Rangers. I wanted to be a Power Ranger. Now, I couldn't actually be a Power Ranger, but I could be a Power Ranger in my own way. You know, like I can, you know, have the vibe or the attitude of a Power Ranger. Like, you know, I'm ready to step up to whatever the challenge is and whatever, right? Or I'm not going to back down from anything, you know, like the spirit of the Power Ranger. So I may not have his suit, but I can still have his spirit, you know, his vibe, his attitude. So that's a lot of what I take from these characters. And then in the style, you know, if I like the style, like for example, let's say I like the Power Ranger style. Okay, I'll figure out how to create that in reality where it doesn't look ridiculous, right? Like for example, if I like the Black Ranger, I'll create a style like this. This could be, you know, my version of the Black Ranger. Maybe instead of this, I'd probably have a black hoodie or a black beanie. Now I'm my own version of the Black Ranger, right? You know, like stuff like that. So I look at these fictional characters, I figure out how can I take on these qualities, and then I actually start being it. And the more you start being it and start like acting as if, you start becoming more grounded in it. So you start getting challenged. People are going to challenge you. Oh, who do you think you are? Are you dressed like that? Blah, blah, blah. And you just stay firm in your character. You don't change. You don't, whatever. If you want to respond, you respond, or you just walk past them or whatever. But you don't change. You hold on to that character. And that's how you build strength in that character. And that's how you become this new sexy version of yourself. All right? So this is something you can apply. If you want my help with it, like, because as I said, this is something that I've done for myself. And I still do it. I still am constantly evolving and making my character more sexy. I literally set this intention, right? Like I want to become a more sexier version of myself. I actually say that, right? Like I'm not afraid to say that. Like, no, let me become more sexy. Okay. So this is what I'm suggesting. Is this something you should say? Like, how can I become more sexy? Like, if you're not getting the response you want from women, you have to become sexier. A sexy man gets good responses from women. Like, women will tell him, hey, you're sexy. right? They won't have a problem saying this if he's truly sexy. So you just have to evolve into this, because a guy doesn't just show up and he's already sexy. Like, he develops into that. Some guys, it happens to them naturally. Some guys, they have to figure it out, use their intelligence and apply it to being aesthetic, apply it to being, attractive, right? So you can go ahead and apply this stuff. I basically gave you, all the information in regards to what I do. I just go and find people that I think are attractive or have, great qualities or attractive qualities, and I start putting myself, and then I start being that on a consistent basis until it becomes grounded and internalized. But if you like help with this, like if you like to work on this together, where I actually help you become a sexy archetype and help you become grounded in this archetype so you can handle your dating life, start getting better results, better responses from women, right? You ain't got to worry about no pickup. When you show up in front of a woman and you are turning her on because of how sexy you are, you don't have to worry about no pickup line. You don't have to worry about no what to say, what to do. You just show up and you're sexy, and that's it, right? It doesn't matter what you say when you're sexy. And it's not just how you look, it's the whole package, because I can look like this, but if I'm like, hey guys, my name is Trey, that's not gonna get no girls, man. It's the whole thing, the communication, the body language, the energy, the vibration, the mindset, everything matters. So I basically help you with everything, man. Help you with your mindset, help you with becoming grounded, help you with your body language, all these things. We be working together. Instead of you trying to figure it out on your own, we be working together. All right, so I have an 8-week program. It's called the Irresistible Beast Program, okay, where we focus on you becoming a sexy archetype and you becoming grounded in the sexy archetype. And as you are working on this archetype, I'm going to give you some exercises, some action steps you can take so you can start being this archetype with women, and you'll see the difference in response, right? When you start stepping into the sexy version of yourself, you will see women will respond to you better. You'll get more numbers, you'll get more dates, and you'll have more opportunities to create the relationships you want to create. All right, so if you'd like more information, hit me up, and also join the Unbreakable Beast tribe. All right, I'll drop a link to the group in the comment section, and I'll see you inside. Peace.